Hey yo, what up guys, this is QB from the Chopper Express and I'm here to bring you my latest Teach video. This one is going to be Teach versus Ace, the last of the big three going to the OP13 meta. But before we get into it, I want to give a really big thanks to everyone who subscribed. I think this past week we reached 500 subscribers to our YouTube channel, or to my YouTube channel, and I just want to say thank you to everybody. Really appreciate the support. Really been trying hard to bring more competitive content to the One Piece community, to give like a better insight to one, how I play Teach, but also as I continue to transition into playing Emu, this next format, how I play Emu, give better insight in that sense to people that are just looking for content to watch. You know, we're all just chilling at work, so thank you so much actually. But to get started, this is the Teach deck. I haven't changed the list from the last video. Still playing the same thing, kind of just testing it out. After this video, I think I'll probably make some changes based on how the Ace matchup kind of went. But we'll start with this. Nothing really changed. 4 Stronger, 4 Lafitte, 4 Caribou, 2K Devon, 4 Docu, 4 Burgess, 4 Vendauger, 1 5 cost Devon, 4 Kuzan, 4 6 cost Kuzan, 3 Teach, 4 Myra, 2 Black Vortex, 2 Black Hole, and then 4 Stage. So yep, let's just get into the games, man. So here we have our first game versus Ace. I get to choose, so I'm gonna go ahead and go second, which is the preferred start for me. I start with full lead, Black Vortex, Lafitte, Burgess, and Caribou. And so, as kind of similar to the Emu matchup, this is a Burgess beatdown matchup, and hide behind Kuzan really to protect your lives for the most part. I think one of the things about the Ace deck is playing any other deck, you probably would want to deny cards like such when you play Emu. Sometimes not swinging on your second turn can be advantageous to deny their leader ability, but Teach deck sometimes I feel like can struggle a little bit more getting the enough swings at the end of the game to press through their new gate blockers. So there's something that I would really consider. I think you just have to like fit your swing. So I'm gonna go ahead and start with Stage. I'm gonna Stage. I should filter out Burgess just because if I find I'm not planning on playing Burgess anytime in the next 2 turns, and so I really want to find 6 house Kuzan because this next turn I'm going to use Lafitte to cycle, and then I'll be able to hit a little 6 and fit a little 6 in there. So on the Ace turn, they played Otama first turn, which means they didn't really open any 1-drop. So here I'm kind of expecting either like a big swing with their lead, or if they found one within the 3 cards, they'll play that. So he goes to swings 9. Obviously we take, and I hit another 6 cost Kuzan. So 6 cost Kuzan is like really important in this matchup for the reason I kind of stated, where it's protecting your life, getting your bursts out while building out your board. So here, I think I could have did it in a different order. I think I should Stage first, pitch Spiral, and then do Lafitte afterwards. The reason being is because I think when things like that happen, like I'm not really looking for a card to pitch off my Lafitte, so I think I kind of can differentiate between that. But here I hit Lafitte. I can either take another Lafitte and just keep searching for other parts, or I can take a Black Vortex. I think I should take the Lafitte though, just because I probably am not playing Black Vortex for a while. Or I could take Docu Otama, but I think if I was going to take this line, then I should have either took the Black Hole or the Lafitte. I think taking Lafitte also is kind of fine. And like I said, this is kind of a turn where I'm deciding, because my deck kind of can struggle to get through the new gates at the end of the game, I'm going to try and fit in my 6K swings, and I'm going to get the Caribou out there kind of early, just so I don't have to fit it in later. I think the 1-cost blockers are really good into the Ace deck, because basically you'll see that we get to a point in the game in this matchup where they're going to try and trade over our big Burgesses, and having little wee blockers to protect that can be really advantageous. But here, usually for the Ace player, it's either going to be Yamo swing 6 or Marco swing 7. I didn't turn them off. You could argue I should turn them off, but if you go swing 7, I probably will just take the block, mostly due to the fact that I could get punished by putting. So he decides to attach swing 7. We'll see what I end up deciding to do. I could put him on playing pudding, even though my hand's like really good, so I don't really want my hand to go anywhere. So I decided to take and put him on, hey, go ahead and play pudding, which I don't know if that's correct or not. I could do the other way. I was just, I guess, surprised that he didn't swing into the Lafitte that turn. I'm going to go ahead and cycle out the Van Augur. One thing I like to do a lot with the Teach deck now is to cycle out my cards that I'm going to be summoning off of Kuzan. Here I can grab a Kuzan to have it just in the trash, but also play more. So I just could take Katarina right here, knowing that I only play one in the deck. And then I'll just start my Lyra building right here. This is due to the fact that Jozu can be really hurtful in this matchup. So if I don't lead ability now, then I won't be able to. He'll play Jozu. But unfortunately, he plays the Rush Yamato, and I think this card's actually really good against Teach. It's actually really good against Emu too. But here I'm going to go and take the block, bring out my Burgess. My Burgess is 6k with the one to go to 7k. So he can go either double 7 at my Burgess, or he can go like try and just push face, which is what he's been doing. And so one of the things I'm going to try and do is against the ace deck, I think it's really good to try your hardest to stay at try your best to stay at 3 life. I feel like once you get below 3 life, the game gets significantly harder due to the fact that they can be a lot more aggressive with their turns, in my opinion, versus when you stay at 3 life and you're able to be the aggressor, then the ace deck can sometimes not want to swing at you, or your opponent has to make more of a decision based on their game state to whether or not they should swing at your face or turn their bodies and just try and be defensive. If you can try and get the ace deck to try and be defensive, even when sometimes it shouldn't, it's probably just continue to swing or at least counter power, then I think that's how you can kind of become more advantageous in the game and get in a better position. So here I'm going to swing 8 at lead. I'm going to get the best swing I can. I'm not able to get 2 swings in this turn, 1-8, 1-6, so I think swinging 8 is slightly better. Maybe I can get the block from the Marco. And I'm going to go ahead and just play another Kuzan. So it's kind of setting up to where I want it to be. And here he doesn't take. He gives me 2 cards for it, which is really good. Because over the next couple turns, especially if he turns his Yamato or turns his Marco, I'm going to be able to get like an AK swing at face and then an AK swing at the Marco. But here, so he's already set up for 3 7s again if he has Iron Whitebeard. So that's a line he could take. That's kind of what I'm predicting is going to be like either 3 7s is more than likely to play. If he has it, if he doesn't, it could probably be like play a 5-cost Yamato, just to kind of get more dues on the board, and then just do bigger swings at my Burgess. And this is kind of why I take the first 2 swings at least, because I want to have more cards for when I need to defend my Burgess at this portion of the game. So he goes ahead and tries to just dump my Burgess. He's going to go ahead and swing 10. Here I'm going to go ahead and give him 2 2Ks. Mostly, I want to keep my Kuzan. I know I could have given him a 2 and a 1 and got to 11, but I want to keep my Kuzan. And now he's kind of like stuck to just try and continue to try and play through my Burgess. So he's going to just try and get rid of the Kuzan, play through it. I'm going to simply have another Burgess. And I think on his side, this turn was a little too slow, actually. I think he should have just summoned another body and continue to press face. It's just too much Dawn for not enough cards out of me. And then here I can either black hole the Marco now, or what I'm really thinking is probably the best play is to get my 10 cost online now, turn off the Yamato, use my Burgesses to swing face, and then if I can get the Marco on a swing, then that's also really good. And so I think that's the line that I'm going to end up taking. Even if he's bluffing Rad Beam, I'm okay just getting the Rad Beam in this situation. So I'm going to go ahead and swing 8 here. Swing 8 face. He's either going to counter 2-1, take the block, or do Rad Beam. And so this matchup isn't as, it's like kind of rough sometimes, I would say. I would say like with the Teach deck now, I think I just have to change my list up a little bit. I think like the blockers do help a lot. I haven't had a chance to test like the no 5-cost Kuzan list to see how it does. I still think I would play some number of Kuzans just to have the flexibility of all your cards in your deck. You could lower the count to try and fit in other cards though, because you don't really summon it as much as you used to, or I haven't been at least. Mostly because Emu, you need bigger swings. This deck, you need mid 6 swings, so you can't do like the 5 swing 5 tag out, get the little play, so you get the swing M thing. And then the only matchups that it's like good against in that sense is gonna be like Zoro and things like that. But even in those matchups, you probably just want to like get at, you want bigger swings to be able to trade over bodies, so I don't know how good that actually is. So here he's gonna just commit to just trying to starve out my Burgesses. I misplay here. I should just let the Burgess die here. My Burgesses aren't going to get big enough fast enough. In here, I could have just black holed his Marco swung 8, swung 10. So that was a misplay on my end. And this is all on. This is rank sim. I'm still trying to level up essentially. I've been playing a lot of different decks, so take things with a grain of salt. I mean, obviously we're all still learning this format. We just probably starting it tomorrow. So here I go. My era right now. I'm just trying to make my bursts fat. Trying to make them as big as I can. So I'm gonna go ahead and just continue the cycle. Here I could take the other black hole. I probably should not. I probably could not. It's an argument to not take it. Don't think I'll be using it anytime soon. My thought is that I should be getting a block on one of these swings, so I'm gonna go swing 6, try and get a poke, see if I can get a 2K. So you got the leader ability, so that's really good. That means he probably doesn't have any 1Ks in his hand. And so I think I actually could be aggressive here, and actually I went like black hole swing 10, but I think I'm going to put up the blocker again because I know I'm going to get this anyway. So I'll just maintain my black hole. So here he'll give me 3 cards because he wants to maintain the life, since he got the block with the Marco to get the extra draw. And one thing I kind of heard over, I think I was watching the Chinoiza Cup, is the best way to like kind of think about it is that like how to deny as many leader abilities from the ace deck as you can. So when you can get, and this is obviously any deck you play, if you can get blocks and you can try and get the life after, or you can try and get like 2 bodies, and I think those are the turns that are really advantageous for you as a player playing against ace. So I just kind of keep that in the back of my mind of how can I get the best amount of cards from the ace deck in a turn, or is I getting them getting more cards throughout the game. So here I turned them off again, and I've been turning them off every single turn since they were at 6 dawn, mostly because Jozu always is live. That's actually the only reason too. I think every time you end up like stop, they'll just Jozu bounce your Burgess, and that's just too much of a tempo loss for you. So this is what I've been doing, is turning them off, and he ends up scooping. So I'll start this, but I'll still talk about that game. So he ends up scooping that game, and that's because he was kind of taking too much. The burgers were too big. I think I was going to be able to keep one, even if he decided to trade over one. I think from the ace perspective, I think if he had gotten down the Iron Whitebeard on the turn instead of dunking, and decided just to push face, and also just not being scared to turn his Marco, that would have been more aggressive towards my life, then I would have been in a worse position. I think I would end up giving him like probably like 3 cards that turn. Just because I probably would have took one, blocked one, and then gave 2 cards for one. So I would have been at 2 life, which could have changed the game a little bit. But he would have had a 10. He would have had 12 cost Newgate, and then I would have been forced to trade over the Yamato and the Marco that next turn, and it would have progressed the game a little bit faster than maybe I wanted it to. But that's kind of like how that game could have changed on the A side. Kind of how I played out on my side. Like I said, this match was mostly just getting multiple Burgesses out, trying to have more Burgesses than 10 costs than their Whitebeards, and then from there just trying to like swing at their face. And then I like just trying to stay healthy so that you don't have to be as scared of Goldie Roger. And then when you get the chance, try and trade a couple cards on their board just to make sure there's not too many swings coming at you, in my opinion. Marco's, I tend not to trade into as much, unless I think I'm kind of behind. And if I'm behind, then I'll trade into them, just to like make sure there's not as many swings on the board, and I don't have to give as many cards over the course of the game. And then just try and outpace the leader swing and the Whitebeards by being aggressive in those turns. But here is game 2 versus Ace. Again, I get to choose to go second. I open another good hand where I open full lead plus Lafitte. How you deal? My air is also really good. Doc Q. So going first, you could try and go for like the Doc Q lines and try and just like stack Van Augers, but that also requires you to find multiple Van Augers throughout the game. But the one thing that I would keep in mind is that if you can hit Doc Q into Van Auger, going first at least, I draw Lafitte, so I'll just go stage. I should pitch Doc Q. I could pitch Stronger too if I want to keep the Doc Q, but I won't. I'll just cycle, get Burgess, and then I'll go ahead and play Lafitte early, just get it out there. But back to what I was saying. So if you go first, you could go for a dock Q line. I've done this in a couple games where like you go dock Q into Van Augur. He swings 7. I'm going to take it, obviously. Get the 6 cost Qs on. And I'm pretty set up already. So now I have 6 cost Qs on my 3rd turn. I'm going to play 2 Lafitte's probably this turn and still swing 6 at his lead. So I'm going to go ahead and search, hit my era. I'm going to take my eras. I'll find these teaches at some point in the game because the way my hand is kind of situated, I'm going to be like going through my deck pretty fast. Here I'm trying to decide whether or not I just want to play my era or do I want to play Lafitte and fit in another 6. I think the correct line is to play Lafitte and fit in another 6. I think that's just the correct line on my part. Like I said, 5 cost Kuzans just like not super needed this matchup. This matchup is very dependent on finding 6 cost Kuzans and then floating those. Grab 2k. I guess I'm going to decide to go ahead and just pop one of these Ezos and just deny him making his deck more consistent. But also, I guess it's kind of interesting. I think I should have just played Lafitte and swung another 6, and then he would have cleared 2 Lafittes, which would have been fine. But he decides to swing 0 on my dog queue, so I'll take the free draw. I'm gonna go ahead and swing the Ezo. There's no reason not to, in my opinion. Like I could just leave it there, but it's gonna get the draw eventually. So you could argue that, but maybe I shouldn't swing at it and let him just so he doesn't see an extra card this turn. He'll see an extra card throughout the game at some other point. Here, I think I'll either pitch the Lafitte or the Burgess. I don't really plan on playing Lafitte. I think next turn I'm just going to end up playing my era plus stage, and so I think I'd rather keep a playable card like Burgess at that point because it's cheaper. So where if I go my era and stage and I don't hit Scots on, I can still swing pretty big with my Burgess, or summon Burgess, swing pretty big with my leader. Here he goes to swing 7, and like I said, I'm just going to take this life. Even if he decides to not swing, I think that's kind of like fine. I'm okay with this position. Here I'm going to play my era again. I just want to, like I said, I want to get my Burgesses pretty big, so I try and fit as many eras as I can. Find 10 cost Teach, so that's the 3rd one. And I'm going to just swing 6 at Yamato, get a card. And I'm going to filter out the 5 cost Kuzan. And so at this point in my testing, I've kind of like got to the point where I'm like, okay, like most, I wouldn't say games, but most sequences of events in the ace matchup, you just don't really have time to play your 5 cost Kuzan, so it's just not really a point to keep them out there. Here I have double 6 cost Kuzan, and I'm going into 10 cost Teach next turn, so I'm gonna go take the first block. I don't want him to do the same thing he did last turn where he like decided just not to swing and keep my dude up, so I'm going to take 1 now, and he goes in and rips his life, which is very interesting. Here I will 2k, or I should 2k, just because there's no point. If he's going to swing with his playing coming to swing, he's swing with his leader. I'm going to go ahead and take the block, get my other Burgess out that I threw in there last turn, and now I have my 2 9k Burgesses. Looking at his board, they should be almost to 10k. Here I should probably either take Lafitte, because I'm going to be using it as my leader ability card, and then I will be doing this. And since he's big, I don't think I need to swing at his leader. I'm going to go ahead and I should just swing at his board. So I think I realized that I'm 1 card off of them being 10, so then I get 2 10k swings. So I could just throw them at his face, he go to 0, but I kind of just want to keep the board in control. I'm like pretty far ahead, and like I said, I'll ignore the Marco because I'm pretty far. So like this next turn, I guess the way I look at it is like I'll get a block if he decides to throw with the Marco, and he decides to do the same thing again, decides to rip his life. I don't know if this is actually good or bad. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. Like I said, I don't play ace a lot. You could argue that it's kind of bad. So here he's gonna throw another 7. I think or throw a 6. He just throw another 7 in my opinion. He decides not to swing with his leader, just like no point type of thing. So here I could grab another Burgess, which I think is what I'm supposed to grab. But I decided to grab Black Vortex for counter power. I think I kind of make this game a little bit more awkward on myself than I really need to. So here, I think I'm just trying to bait the 10 cost, so I swing 10 first. And the one thing is, like with these 10 costs, like he has good trades into my board. So I swing another 10. I don't really care about going to 0. So like I think that's why I took the black vortexes, because if he decides ever just to like go to 0 and just hinge on Goldie Roger winning him the game, and then taking black vortex right now is a little bit better. And here I'm just doing the math on if I just trade into his white beard, because I need to clear it. Like if I don't clear it, he'll be able to go 12-12. He'll be able to swing twice into my Burgesses. I only have a vortex for one, and then the other one should be able to trade well. So I could swing 18. He's bluffing Rad Beam, so I'm thinking he min gets to 16, and so if I really need to clear it, I should go 20. He did his leader ability, if I'm not mistaken, on my first Burgess swing, so I could just swing 20. 20 clears it every single time. And it's not like I'm gonna get another swing off with my leader anyway. So here I'll go ahead and pitch stronger. It's just the worst counter. It's just the worst counter card, and now I have black vortex and stronger. So if he decides to turn his white beard, I can go ahead and use black vortexes now. Probably misplay on my part. Actually, I guess I was at 23, so I could have just gave it 2K and been okay. And here he'll swing 9. I'll take. And here I will first, before I decide to swing, I'll do my stage. If I hit teach, then I can teach. If I don't teach, then I can go like black hole and swing. Here I hit teach. Also, I know I'm at the bottom of my deck again, because if we remember at the beginning of the game, I think I stacked 2 teach. So I should have another teach coming up like literally immediately after this turn. So I go ahead and freeze this. This should give me the Marco on this swing. Just because he doesn't want to go to 0, and then I swing 11, and so this should put him to 0. I'm not within Goldie Roger range. He actually does have the Rad Beam, so he'll Rad Beam out of that, and then I'll turn him off one more time. There could come a point in this game, especially in your later turns, where like on this turn specifically, I could just like not do it. There's not really a card to punish. I think Tax Beard punishes me actually, so Tax Beard would be the punish. So I guess we just have to turn him off. And here we just get to another point. He's kind of stuck. So he either has to just like swing big, which is what he decides to do. I don't have enough counter power, so it dies. But if we remember, got the second teach coming up. So here I can go teach again. This is also another misplay on my part. I cycled the 2K, which is fine. But I should, if I'm going to teach, just teach him now. But I cycled to get to 12. I guess my thought was, if I swing 12 first before something my 10 costs, then like sometimes he would go 12 plus 1 just to keep his white beard, and then I could either just swing 12 swing numbers and kill him, or if he takes, then like I could black hole here, like I could black hole and then swing like I could black hole and then swing 12 plus or swing 6 plus what, 5, 17. I think that also odds are is probably game. I decided to take the safe route. There's just the safe route for me is just to go 10 cost Beard. He has not enough swings to kill me, and then even if he decides to yam one again, then I'll just have enough swings to kill him in the next turn because I have black hole. And even if he puts up another 10 Beard, I'll just go black hole 1, 12, 12, 12, 12, 11, 12, 12, 10. 12, 13, 10. So this is the ace matchup. I think matchups like so where Teach is right now, I think if we're talking about like full meta, it is probably like kind of, I think it's probably like back in the top 5, probably 5th, 6th, 7th, best, somewhere around there. I think the ace matchup and the eve matchup are winnable. I think they kind of can revolve around your opponent not really knowing the matchup, which has always kind of been where Teach is at, where like if opponents don't really know the matchup very in-depthly, you can kind of just fall into pitfalls that can kind of cause you to lose games. I think on the Teach side, I think I'm finding that Sixakuzan is the best card in the deck. Sixakuzan and Burgess are just the best cards in the deck, so you should revolve your list around those. I think one thing these kind of matches taught me is like having the little weenie blockers. I don't know about Vasco Shot. Vasco Shot can sometimes be a little expensive. Even in I don't want to say it's like expensive. It's just like, it's okay. But Vivi's just a lot better because once you get to that type of Dawn, like you really just want to be able to like getting 1 for 7. It's kind of similar to like where we were in Shanks, the like mid OP. What I think it was like 10 or 11.5, like right after the ban list for the Doflamingo of Jinbei, where you just like kind of played Vivi and things like that because the Shanks deck could only swing so big, and then you could just like take free blocks. Kind of similar to that. That's how the format kind of feels. So I may change the list a little bit here and there, but this is the Ace video. This is kind of like what I think about the matchup. Kind of, I think Ace could be is probably like slightly favored because their decks probably like can be slightly more consistent, and getting your bursts out of range can be a little harder. I think with a little bit of list change, I think the Teach deck can find its way through this format. I actually, San Diego will be my last in-person event, which will be this weekend. So if you see me there, feel free to say what's up. Gonna be taking Teach for the PRB format, but maybe the last ride for the homie. But maybe if I can get in some online events or something like that, I'll probably take Teach, see how it goes, have a little bit of fun and to end out the year. So, but hey, again, thanks. We hit 500. Now we're on the road to 1,000. Appreciate this. Appreciate the subscriptions. Tell your homies, tell your friends, tell everybody. Continue to make some content. We're gonna start hitting some emu content. If you're looking forward to that, please tune in for that. Hey, y'all stay safe out here. Peace.